Momo Shime, counter to Do Shime. I'm assuming I'm facing someone, they try to pull me in, pull me down, they're on their back, trying to wrap their legs around me. They grab me, put their legs around me, and they start pulling me down to the ground. Now, I believe Momo Shime is a defense against an open guard. That is, they got the legs around and they're trying to close the legs, but they haven't gotten it yet. As they're pulling me to the ground, I want to make a nice frame. My elbows are close to my body and slightly pointed out, right into the insides of the thighs. It's going to protect my ribs and put pressure on the insides of their thigh. Put my palms out, not my hands, but pull my fingers back and use the base of my palms. I'm also kind of locking it to my body so I have the frame of my body. And I'm putting my hands right on their floating ribs. So as they pull me down, bring my arms in to the insides of their thighs, make a frame, put my hands on the floating ribs. And as we hit the ground, I put all my pressure right into the floating ribs and push my elbows out to keep them from locking the legs around me. Compress the floating ribs, push those elbows in. From here, our typical response is to strike the groin and then grab a leg. Those legs are open. I slide my hand to the inside, put it on my neck or my head. I reach around and grab the heel, and I turn them over that way. My preferred variation of that is once I'm here, I slide my arms underneath both legs, making sure both go under. I've had this discussion with you guys about not letting yourselves get set up into a triangle choke by having one arm go under. I want both arms to go under at the same time. Hug the legs, stack, look up, drop my hip and shoulder to pass. In any case, we're here. Now, the reason why I say I don't think this is a counter to a closed guard, if I go in here and try to lock this down, or they get their legs around me before I'm able to get my arms in, and they've actually closed their legs on me, and they're of comparable size or bigger than me, and have any kind of a ground game, I really don't think this is sufficient to get them to open their legs. It's going to create some pressure. It's a nice frame. It's going to help. They're going to try to pull me forward. It's going to make it hard for them to pull me forward because I'm not using my muscles. I just have a frame of my arms, putting pressure into the floating ribs and trying to put pressure into the legs. But that's going to buy me some time and help keep them from being able to extend the legs around me to really put pressure into my floating ribs. But I don't think it's really going to open their legs. I have a separate game, or couple different ways to try to open someone's closed guard. That's a different discussion. So it's really important for Momo Shime to be proactive. As soon as I go in for it, bringing my arms in nice and close as we're going to the ground, I'm landing with all my body weight, my hands into the floating ribs, pushing the elbows into the legs before they close around me, and then quickly doing something to keep them from closing their legs, whether it's striking the groin, coming underneath and passing, or whatever you need to do. One other possible option is once you're here, quickly getting into a combat base to make yourself bigger, pinning the thigh, and trying to slide pass. That's also a different discussion, but for practicing Momo Shime, really just focus on going in to the floating ribs, opening up, and then striking the groin or quickly passing under to get past their guard. Momo Shime.